Hello, everybody, and welcome to Youth Connect Friday, October the 1st. I'm Aiden.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Nabras.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Hello, everyone. Happy Youth Connect or Happy Friday. Obviously, the first thing that we need to start off with is our video game of the week, which is in video game news. So for anyone new or haven't even seen Youth Connect before, we always have to start off with our video game of the week, which is basically I want to spotlight one video game that I think that you should check out. And today's video game of the week is actually quite something because it was officially released 2 days ago. And today's game of the week is called Madness Project Nexus. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what Madness Project Nexus is, Madness Project Nexus is a third-person run-and-gun / beat-em-up, which is filled with arcade-style action and button-mashing brutality. The amazing thing about this game is that you can create your own custom character and you can have PvP battles, or if you're more of an adventure type like myself and want to do story mode, you could play through the core campaign as the anti-heroes of the Madness universe and unearth the terrible secrets of Project Nexus itself. Can you overcome the hordes of gun-toting agents, sword brandishing assassins, and bullet-deflecting giants that Project Nexus throws in your path? Well, I gotta say, grab your trusty weapon and find out. And also, if you're like, what is madness? If you ever have the time, and do watch out, guys, because if you don't like very bloody stuff, I recommend staying away from this game. But if you ever want to see some action-packed, like fighting animation, I recommend checking out Madness Combat. I know it's a bit bloody, but you know what? It is action-packed, and they just made a video game based off of it that was in development for 6 years. It's been 6 years. Us as a Madness fan community have been waiting for this game to come out, and it's finally released. And it's awesome. It's amazing. It's action-packed, and I hope you check it out. Next up, though, we have Kevin, and Kevin has with us some local Canadian news and weather.
Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Youth Connect. The time is now 3:33. I'm your host, Kevin Aruja, but first, we've got the headlines. Ontario reports average of 1,300 new COVID cases over the last 2 days as Toronto Council considers extension of mask bylaw. Ontario recommends adult 18 to 24 to get Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine over Moderna due to increased risk of rare heart condition. Trudeau flew to Tofino, British Columbia with his family on First National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Toronto to hold pothole repair blitz on Saturday. And Toronto Blue Jays earn critical win over New York Yankees. Ontario is reporting more than 1,300 new cases of COVID-19 over the last 48 hours, and its rolling 7-day average is now down nearly 7% from this time last week, as the fourth wave of a pandemic appears to recede. The Ministry of Health confirmed the latest cases on Friday morning after not releasing any data on Thursday due to National Truth and Reconciliation Day. The 2-day average of 651 represents a slight increase from earlier this week when the numbers dipped below 500 on back-to-back days, but it's still a reduction from the average report over the same 2-day period last week. It was 702. Ontario's rolling 7-day average also continues to decline and now stands at 597. It was 655 last Friday and 724 the Friday prior. Of the latest case, 204 were in Toronto, 150 were in Peel region, and 95 were in New York region. Elsewhere in the GTHA, Hamilton report 88 case, Burnham Durham reported 83 cases, and Halton reported 34 cases. All of the numbers are over a 2 day period. Ontario is now recommending that younger adults only be given the Pfizer vaccine due to an apparent increase in the likelihood of developing a rare heart conditioning following vaccination with Moderna. The new preferential recommendation for the age group was issued on Wednesday following the review of data that points to a higher rate of myocarditis and pediatritis among younger adults who have received the Moderna vaccine for their second dose, particularly males. Officials said that about 1 in approximately 5,000 males between the ages of 18 and 24 have developed the condition after receiving Moderna for the second dose, compared to about 1 in 28,000 males who got Pfizer instead. About 1 in 17,000 females who received Moderna for their second dose also develop myocarditis and or pediatritis. Speaking on background during a technical briefing on Wednesday, officials with the ministry said there have been fewer than 10 instances of individual being admitted to intensive care after developing myocarditis or pediatritis post-vaccination and no fatalities. Moore also pointed out that many of the people who have been admitted to intensive care after developing a vaccine-induced case of myocarditis have been discharged a few days after admission once the condition was confirmed through testing. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau flew to Tofino, British Columbia with his family Thursday. As Canadians mark the first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, his office has confirmed. Though Trudeau's daily itinerary initially stated he was in private meetings in Ottawa, it was later updated to note he was in Tofino. And following his participation in last night's ceremony, making it the first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, he is speaking today with residential school survivors from across the country. The National Day for Truth and Reconciliation was made a federal statutory holiday this year and will be marked annually on September 30th. It honors the children who died while being forced to attend the church-run and government-funded residential schools, as well as the survivors and indigenous communities impacted by the system's legacy. In a statement released Thursday, Trudeau said the day was a time to reflect on the painful and lasting impact of residential schools in Canada and to honor survivors. The Prime Minister noted the discovery of unmarked graves near former residential schools this year, saying that they reminded us of not only the impacts of colonialism and the harsh realities of our collective past, but also the work that is paramount to advancing reconciliation in Canada. Toronto is holding the first pothole repair blitz of the fall this weekend. The one-day blitz aims to repair as many potholes as possible on the city's major roads, neighborhood streets, and expressways. Crews will start filling potholes at 6 a.m. Saturday morning and will work to fill as many potholes as possible before the winter season. Roughly 29 crews or 79 workers will be working during the blitz and consist of the same workers who handle general roadway maintenance and safety work. The blitz is the fourth one of the year, following three blitzes in the spring when over 13,000 potholes were repaired. The city says more than 95,000 potholes have been repaired since the beginning of 2021. Toronto has budgeted approximately $4.7 million this year to specifically fix potholes, because potholes can be typically be repaired within 4 days after the city is made aware of them and are prioritized based on size and location. Feeling confident after being belting a solo shot earlier in the game, Bo Bichette stepped to the plate in the eighth inning in the clear intention of doing it again. Looking for a sinker from reliever Clay Holmes, 8 on 4, Bichette got one and took full advantage. His 28th homer of the season was the difference as Toronto earned a much-needed 6 on 5 victory that helped the Blue Jays stay in the thick of a high American League wildcard race. Marcus Semien also homered for the Blue Jays while George Springer chipped in with 3 hits and 2 runs. Starter Jose Barrios turned in for the solid performance, and closer Jordan Romano worked the ninth inning for the 22nd save. Bichette's 28th homer are the most in one season by the shortstop in the franchise history, moving him past Tony Batista's mark of 26 in 1999. None were bigger than the one that helped move the Blue Jays 2 games behind New York in the race for the first wildcard spot. The Yankees' 7 game win streak came to an end, and their lead on Boston was trimmed to 1 game after the Red Sox blanked the Baltimore Orioles 6-0. Toronto moved into a tie with the Seattle Mariners, who were also 1 game behind Boston, entering the late game against the Oakland Athletics. The Yankees and Blue Jays, who will close out the 3 game series Thursday night, both have 4 games left to play. In today's weather forecast, we've got sunny this afternoon. The temperature is now 20 degrees centigrade. And on tomorrow afternoon, we're getting mainly sunny. The temperature will be 26 degrees centigrade. That's all the report on weather. And have a good weekend, folks. And now I'm switching back to Aiden's video gaming news.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Actually, for the pothole news, for everyone that's listening or watching right now, do note that the 403 will actually be closed from 10 p.m. today. So if you're planning on going somewhere, don't use the highway and try to find an alternative way, because it will be it will be a long time till they fix it, because potholes take a long time to fill. For your second gaming news, I need to talk to you quickly about a very important event, which is, I know there's a lot of gaming events, but this is also a very important event. So recently, or actually they're just starting up, they're ending on October 3rd. The Tokyo Game Show is a huge event where big companies like Xbox, Square Enix, Ubisoft, Capcom, Konami, Bandai Namco, and much more kind of showcase their games today. And this 2021 Tokyo Game Show, like last year's, was an online affair. And there is even a teeny tiny in-person area with minuscule booths, and the public is not allowed in. And Sony doesn't even have a booth. But you know who does have a booth? IKEA. Who would have thought? But I guess it does make sense, because if you see the Swedish furniture makers gaming collection does look pretty good. I might even actually check it out when they release it fully. According to Gizmodo Japan, while it would take at least 30 minutes to walk through the entire show floor on the press day, it only took 5 minutes to check out the show this year. Sega and Atlas have a booth, as does Konami, SNK, and Capcom, but the show is, by Gizmodo Japan's estimate, about 1/12 the size, which is extremely small because last year's was way bigger. But I get it. Tokyo's following the rules, as we all should. They're keeping their fellow employees safe. They're keeping the company members safe. They're just trying to make sure that they can still host the event and spread their gaming news to everyone. It's like me, but like a whole booth of me. That's crazy. And you know what? If you ever have the time, guys, I recommend checking out IKEA's gaming set. It's a whole set. It comes with a table, a chair, like it's amazing. You know, IKEA, you don't expect IKEA to make a gaming set. I'm like, oh, gaming set. That's more like a video gaming thing. But guess what? IKEA is dwelling into the video game. You know what? I bet you my bottom dollar that there will be an IKEA game coming out in the next 2 years. Trust you me. Anyways, though, next up we have Joshua, and Joshua has with us some world news and, of course, very cute animal news.
Good afternoon and welcome to Youth Connect. Here's what's happening around the world. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano erupts. One of the most active volcanoes on Earth is erupting on Hawaii's Big Island. Officials with the U.S. Geological Survey confirmed on Wednesday that an eruption has begun in Kilauea's volcano crater at the volcano summit. Webcam footage of the crater showed lava found fountains covering the floor of the crater and bellowing clouds of the volcanic gas were rising into the air. The eruption is not in an area with homes and is entirely contained with Hawaii's Volcanoes National Park. The volcano's alert level has been raised to warning and aviation code changed to red, which means hazardous eruption is imminent. Underway or suspected with significant emission of volcanic ash into the atmosphere. Before 2018, Kilauea has been erupting since 1983, and streams of lava occasionally covered rural farms and homes. Kilauea had a major eruption in 2018 that destroyed more than 700 homes and are displaced thousands of residents. During that time, the lava sometimes reached the ocean, causing dramatic interactions with the water. Over 4 months in 2018, Kilauea spewed enough lava to fill 320,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools, burying area more than half the size of Manhattan in up to 80 feet of now hardened lava. The molten rock reduced landmarks, streets, neighborhoods to a vast field of blackened boulders and volcanic shard. After the 2018 eruption, the summit lava lake stopped erupting for the first time in recorded history. It began to fill with water, raising concerns about the possibility of an explosive interaction between lava and groundwater. The same area of the volcano that began erupting Wednesday also erupted in December and lasted until May. Beijing Olympics banned foreign spectators and adds 21-day quarantine for unvaccinated participants. It's been less than 2 months since the Tokyo Olympics concluded, but preparation for the next pandemic era Olympic Games is already underway. The International Olympics Committee announced on Wednesday the new COVID-19 guidelines for the 2022 Beijing Olympics, including vaccine protocols for all athletes and a ban on foreign spectators under the guidelines, and all athletes and participants who are not vaccinated against COVID-19 will have to spend 21 days in quarantine when they arrive in Beijing. Athletes can submit a medical exemption for Olympic Games officials to consider, the committee said. Those who are fully vaccinated will be allowed to immediately enter the closed-loop management system, which will cover all games-related areas, including arrival and departure, transport, accommodation, catering, competitions, and the opening and closing ceremonies, the committee said. Within the closed loop, participants will be allowed to move only between games-related venues for training, competitions, and work. A dedicated games transport system will be put in place. Those who are not staying in the Olympic Village will reside in Beijing 2022 contracted hotels that will be compliant with the COVID-19 countermeasures for the games. Additionally, the committee said all participants and people in the closed loop and management system will be tested for COVID-19 daily, regardless of the vaccination status. Only spectators from mainland China who meet the requirements of COVID-19 countermeasures will be allowed into the games. The Olympic Committee said that this will facilitate the growth of winter sports in China by giving the mainland China spectators a first-hand Olympic and Paralympic experience of elite winter sports, as well as bringing a favorable atmosphere to the venues. The Beijing Olympics are scheduled to begin on February 4, while the Paralympic Winter Games will begin on March 4. Turning to science news, Virgin Galactic says FAA has cleared it for further flights. Virgin Galactic said Wednesday that the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, has cleared it to resume launches after an investigation into why its spaceship veered off course while descent of a July flight with founder Richard Branson aboard. The company said it was advised by the FAA that corrective actions proposed by Virgin Galactic have been accepted. A larger area will be designated as protected airspace to ensure that there is room for a variety of possible flight trajectories during spaceflight missions, a company statement said. Virgin Galactic said it will incorporate additional steps into its flight procedures to ensure real-time mission notifications to FAA air traffic control. CEO Michael Cole Glazier said the company is committed to safety and appreciate the FAA's review. During the July 11 incident, the rocket ship carrying Richard Branson and 5 Virgin Galactic employees deviated outside the air traffic control clearance area during descent to a runway in New Mexico. The FAA imposed a hold on flight pending the investigation. Virgin Galactic has said high altitude wind caused the change in flight path and insisted the two pilots responded appropriately. The company said the ship did not travel over population centers or cause a hazard to the public. Turning to animal interest news, dolphins greet whale watchers off the California coast. A group of whale watchers were treated to an exciting surprise when a stampede of dolphins swam alongside their boat off the coast of Dana Point, California. Drone footage taken during a whale watching cruise organized by Captain Davis Dolphin and whale watching safari shows the pod of dolphins leaping across the deep blue water as the boat glides behind them. Speaking to Storyful, the company said that the area has more dolphins per square mile than anywhere else in the world, with over 450,000 common dolphins off the coast of Dana Point alone. Common dolphins like these love to approach and ride the pressure waves created by boats. They said Dana Point made famous the dolphin stampede. They added, "This is Joshua Show reporting for you Connect. That's it for me. Now send it back to you, Aiden."
I'm kind of at a loss for words to hear about a dolphin stampede. I'm imagining dolphins with legs, but I can't see that. So I guess I could see rabid dolphins in a line just coming, just imagine thousands of dolphins just going towards a boat. And then it's just, you see a boat, 5 seconds later, there's no more boat. Super dolphin stampede. Nothing will get in its path. That's what I think of. But for the last video game of the news, we got to do our board game of the week, similar to our video game of the week, but instead it's a board game. And we're not going to do a classic board game. Or actually, technically we are, because technically this is a very, like a camp kind of board game, but it's actually now in a more cool board game version, which is much easier because then you actually have stuff to look for. Today's board game of the week is called Scavenger Hunt. Now, this game is quite awesome because the object of this game is to find and bring back home 4 randomly designated objects out of a possible selection of 16 in sequence as if you were having a scavenger hunt. Now, it's 2 to 4 players and it's recommended for ages 6 and up. And my age, because I remember playing with a friend. So don't let this age thing fool you. If you like indoor scavenger hunts, then I recommend checking it out because it's actually really cool. And it's really fun to play. You just collect the items and then whoever collects the most items wins. It's a pretty simple indoor scavenger hunt. I hope you guys check it out. Anyways, next up we have Nebraska, and Nebraska has with us some movie and podcast news.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nebraskan, and I'm your host for the entertainment news. Let's get straight into our top story. And today's top story is a coloring book by Six Nation Youth is free, available for National Day for Truth and Reconciliation Day. A group of young artists from Six Nations of the Grand River have released a coloring and activity book inspired by cultural and linguistic elements of the community. The artists, who call themselves the Group of Six, sketched images and digitalized them to make a 68-page book. Artist Maya Warner said the group came up with the idea during the pandemic when many kids were stuck at home. Around here, the Wi Fi is not really good, so a lot of kids were struggling with school, so it gave us an idea to give them something to be working on, said Warner, 16, who's one of the group's members. The book features images of traditional clothing, animals, and unique plants found in the community, and items and instruments used in ceremonies. We wanted to pick things that could really show who we are. We just try to keep it simple around here, said Warner. There are word matches in Cayuga and Mohawk, two of the several languages featured in the book and spoken in the community. The book, which launched earlier this month, was made possible through a grant from the Ontario Arts Council. And this is amazing news. So I've checked out the book. It's good. It's amazing. And it's a good job, right? When you're sitting at home, nothing to do, you invent and you create ideas, right? And this is what they did. So if you want to take a look at the book, you can do it online. So just go to Google and just type or search the Group of Six coloring book. On the first search, it will come. Click on that. It will take you up. It will take you to the page of their logo. It has a hand with pencils and paints, and then beside there on the right side, there will be a link. Just click their link and download. And even if you don't even have to print, just look at that culture. There's a lot. I've looked at it. It's amazing. There's a lot of activity. If you're bored, you can do that. So let's go to our second story. Yeah, before I begin to my second story, so today's tip of the day. So today's tip of the day is organize. Okay, so organization is very important. So I also forget sometimes if I have responsibilities. So what I do is I go to notes, or I have an agenda. I type my like we used to do in school. If you have homework, you type in the or you write in the agenda, and then you don't forget, right? So I'm writing your agenda, and it's really useful. Trust me, if you have online agenda or online notes page, you could just type there and you'll always remember. Even in Google calendars or reminder meetings, you can just type and it will remind you, which is awesome technology, guys. Okay, so let's go to our second story. So our second story is the hit Broadway show Aladdin was cancelled Wednesday night when breakthrough COVID-19 cases were reported within the musical's company. A day after the show reopened following some 18 months of being shuttered due to the pandemic, it was a worrying sign for Broadway's recovery. Through our rigorous testing protocol, breakthrough COVID 19 cases have been detected within the community of Aladdin at the New Amsterdam Theatre. The show announced on social media, because of the wellness and safety of our guests, cast, and crew, our top priority. Tonight's performance, Wednesday, September 29th, is cancelled. It was the first Broadway COVID 19 cancellation since shows resumed, with Bruce Springsteen's concert returning in July, and Passover was the first play to debut in August. Aladdin said the status of the future performances will be updated. The pandemic forced Broadway theaters to close on March 12, 2020, knocking out all and scrambling the spring season. Several have restarted, including the so-called big city of Wicked, Hamilton, and The Lion King. It is sad news, but safety's first. Like I have always said, safety's first. So let's get to our third and final story. So my third and final story is everyone wanted to order clothes from the United States to Toronto and given up because the hassle or they just don't deliver it here. A new store is now making it easy to get stuff delivered from America with a model that's almost like a shopping center at a regular boutique. Reach E Boutique. Reach E Boutique has opened in Toronto, a one stop shop for American online shopping, even from stores that don't deliver to Canada. They also make it easy to return items instantly. Finally, a solution for those hauls where you end up not liking most of what you bought. All you have to do to make your shopping more convenient for yourself is sign up for Reach, Reach. Shop online on US websites like you normally would, and attach your order details. When your shipment is delivered to the physical Reach forefront, where you can try things on in one of their dressing rooms, or return what you don't want, get a refund, and leave with only what you want. They take care of everything, so you don't have to deal with the usual headache of returning things across the border. Rich business manager and used to love driving to the border to go shopping with her family in Buffalo, falling in love with American designers, but finding herself frustrated when her favorite brands wouldn't ship to Canada. She started up the concept during the pandemic when e-commerce started gaining popularity and fast, working on the project starting in April and opening the Reach storefront in August. Isn't awesome? Not now, but next weekend I will go check it out. It seems awesome, guys. It actually seems you can buy clothes from America. Isn't that awesome? I'll check it out. Yeah. And before I conclude, I would like to give you guys the fact of the day. So where I got this a fashion news story. It's a fashion news story. So where I got this from Harper's Bazaar. So basically, Harper's Bazaar it's all about fashion news, fashion story, fashion blogs. It's all about that. So, and the fact is, bazaar. The word is used in a lot of languages and countries. But in Pakistan, where I was born, bazaar is used for street marketplace, like shops that are in the streets. So what happened before the pandemic? What used to happen every week, once a week, in each community, it's different. In each place in Karachi, it's different. Sometimes the bazaar happens in Friday, sometimes it happens in Wednesday, right? So, if, for example, it's happening on Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 5 or 6 or 7. It used to go on. You can buy a lot of things from toys to clothes and a lot of things. There's a lot of things there. And yeah, I do miss that because before the COVID, I did went to Pakistan once and I did go there, which is nice. So that's the fact of the day. Bazaar means street for marketplace. Yeah, and that's all for me. As always, it's Nebraska from Youth Connect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you so much. Back to Eden. Thank you.
Ooh, I must say, going to a bazaar is actually quite interesting. You know what? You find a lot of vintage stuff there. If I could, I'd probably look for some vintage video games or something of the sorts. You know what?
Basically, sorry, I'm interrupting. Basically, if you know what farmer markets are, basically bazaar is that, but it's used in farmers market word.
So basically, it's a farmer's market, but for like cool trinkets.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of stuff like I previously said. A lot of very nice.
Well, thank you so much, Nebraska. Now, for the final cherry on top, we need to do Jeffrey with live music.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Jeffrey Ankerman's back in the house, and I'm going to here play for you a very hidden gem. So get your ticket to ride, because here comes Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. Crazy, but that's how we go. Billions of people living as fools. Maybe it's not too late to learn our love and forget how to hate. words to hear. Trying to flash a bit of shame. I'm going off the rails. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
You wasn't expecting that.
Going off the rails on a crazy train. I listen to preachers, I listen to fools. I watch all the couples to make their own rules. But pushing contenders to rule and control. The media sells it, and you live the role. Better words to hear, driving me insane. I'm going off the rails on a busy train. I'm going off the rails on a busy train. I know that things are going wrong for me. You gotta listen to my words, yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go. It's a cold war. That's what we become. Nearly troubles. I'm mentally dumb. Crazy I just cannot bear. I'm living with something that isn't there yet. Better words to hear. Who am I to blame? I'm going off the rails on a busy train. I'm going off the rails on a busy train. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
It is amazing to have you back, Jeffrey. You know what? Everyone was missing your musical talent, and it is so awesome. You started off the weekend with such a rocking beat. Oh, absolutely amazing. And actually, this brings us to the end of our Youth Connect. I want to thank everyone for watching and tuning in. And remember, if you really like the show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Anyways, guys, we will see you next week for our next Youth Connect. Anyways, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
watching, guys. Take
Thank
care.
you, Nebraska.
Bye.
Thank you, Kevin.
Bye.
Thank
You're
you, Aiden.
welcome.